Hey everyone, welcome to a little bit of woo-woo. We're going to try hitting the record button this time and see how that goes. I am so excited to have Mara Clearspring. She's an astrologer, shamanic practitioner, teacher, Reiki master, and God, I said this wrong every time.
Don't worry about it.
How about if you say it?
Munay-Ki.
Oh my gosh.
Think of your eye and then the key to your heart.
Sounds so much better when you say it. Anyway, she is going to come on today and we're going to talk about Kamala Harris's astrological chart because people are asking me, who is this person? Since we haven't seen nearly very much of her in the past 4 years, even though she is technically the vice president. Tell us what you found when you took a look-see at her private chart, Mara. What do we need to know?
Well, what we all need to know is there's much more to know about the vice president. She has an incredibly beautiful natal chart, which is pretty much shows her being dedicated to service. And really, that's what her life has been about. So her message has been, I'm being of service as the Attorney General of the state of California, or I'm being of service as the vice president to who I think has been a tremendous mentor for her, Joe Biden. So she has been of service, wants to continue to be of service, and will now be going through this really unique, almost nobody goes through this period of time where she will be cast as the potential presidential nominee for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I tuned into her too, I caught a lot of, there was two things I got really strongly with her. She's a touch of an idealist, believing in the inherent good in people. And unfortunately, I feel like that's kind of hurt her a little bit. I wouldn't say hurt her, but it's made her a little more vulnerable to, backstabbing even within her own party, because she tends to believe that people are going to always want to do the right thing because that's the way she is. I was also getting a very strong sense of justice with her, which, obviously Attorney General, she does see the wrong in things. And she doesn't seem to mind playing the game, even though she knows that sometimes winning the game doesn't always mean winning the game, is kind of the sense I got with her. Tell us some more about what you're seeing with her, Mara.
Can I just validate what you said?
All right.
Because that is truly, that is how I have felt about her all along, that she is a dynamo, a powerhouse that is putting her energy behind someone instead of standing out in front, because she knows that's how society is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was getting her. She understands the subtleties, the grays, the fact that the people are pretty racist, the fact that a lot of people don't like women, and yet she's gone forward anyway, kind of ascribing to both of those groups,
working well within a system that she would ultimately like to change. That is what shows up in her chart. And I think as we have watched her through the years come into the limelight, I think the important thing to note is I don't think she thought this would happen this fast. I think we're 4 years ahead of her timeline.
Yeah, I didn't think she thought this would happen this way either. I kind of was seeing that.
No. And I, just to backtrack to other videos that you and I have done, I do believe that Joe Biden stepped back not because he doesn't think he can do the job, but because he felt it was for the good of the collective that he stepped back. I think he personally wanted to do it. And I think that that's the kind of person that Kamala is too. So she is a Libra. And what are Libras about? Fairness, justice. It's the sign of the scales. It's the only sign that's represented by something that's not an animate object, like an animated person or an animal, right? It's scales. And that's because she balances everything. So her chart, she just is going to turn 60 just before the convention, a month before the election, just a month before the election. And that's a powerful number for everyone. We return to the Chinese astrological birth sign that we were born under. Hers is the wood dragon, which then lends to her her ability to ground things, to make them make sense. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I also get she's a bit of an introvert. I mean, I don't know her. I mean, obviously, we're talking about people. You guys, we've never used.
We don't know her.
This person. Okay, obviously, this is for this person, and so very little has been shown of her on TV. But I kind of was seeing, you know, she's very charismatic, but I feel like naturally more of an introvert and more of a contemplative. I always thought when I tuned in her before when she was first, you know, picked as the vice president, I thought, you know, she'd make a really good like Supreme Court justice. Was what the sense I thought. And I thought I'm kind of surprised she didn't go that route because and who's to say she won't end up being there later? But I don't know that she could if she became president. I don't know how that works. But it's interesting you bring this up and talk about, you know, that sense of fairness. Tell me what your sense is of how this experience, because they're going to be. I mean, she feels like she's being thrown to the wolves. She's going to have to fight off a pack of people. You know, I don't know that they have completely decided. I think they have decided to take her as the candidate. But I was seeing, and tell me, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I was seeing a lot of back behind closed doors conversations, like we'll let you have this, but you're going to have to do these 3 things that are our agenda that we want. And I felt like I can see her like back and forth. Like I don't know if I want to play the game that way. But is it for the greater good?
Yeah. I think she's an excellent negotiator.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Once you're president, am I awful? No, yeah. And that is in her chart that she has had to sublimate her passion. Her Mars is in Leo. Okay. So Leo, we know, is like, rawr, and Mars is action. So she has this dynamo powerhouse movement aspect to her being that she's had to sublimate in order to be in the circle she's had to be in. In fact, her future opponent, well, I guess currently is her opponent because she's officially in the race. Whether or not she's the designated Democratic nominee, which I'm pretty much hoping she will be, but she is in the race. Her opponent, he's already making fun of her, calling her laughing. You know, like that's a bad thing. First of all, it's not bad, but second of all, it's ridiculous. So yeah, back to what you were saying. She has to deal with these folks. Jill, who want to get their pound of flesh, get their like, well, I'm going to get my mark in here. You're going to make sure that I have blah blah blah. I think she's very well situated to handle that.
I got that impression too. I will say, you know, not to put words in your mouth or, you know, but I was seeing intuitively, I was seeing that she was going to be the nominee. I'm not as clear. I'm not crystal clear that she's going to be the presidential candidate or if she's going to be the VP. I think she's going to be presidential candidate. But I was 100% sure that I did see her name on a ticket. I did see that. And I did see her having to fight for it. As far as her being a worthy opponent to Donald Trump, I absolutely think she could probably kick his bohiney, but we have seen that already happen, and we saw that person lose. So, you know, whether that is how it plays out, I'm seeing the Democrats winning. I'm seeing the Democrats winning after a protracted legal battle that is probably one for the record books. But what does the astrology kind of say? Astrologically, I don't know if you can answer this question or not. I don't know if the astrology shows it this way. Can she win astrologically? Can she win?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. She's got her Venus is going to be. She's going to have a Venus return. So that means that where Venus is in the sky now will be in the same place as when she was born. And her Venus is aligned with Pluto, the planet of power, and Uranus, the planet of the rebel and unexpected results.
Interesting. So, I love that.
And this is in the foundation place in her chart. Yeah. So what's going on there is one of the reasons that you're born and came here is in the foundation, the lowest part of your chart. And so it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be an easy road. No. And I think you're right about this being one of another weird election, what is it, voter fraud or just weird antics. I think it's going to be a freaking zoo. But it's in her chart that she could win, she's got her midheaven, and that's where we're talking about your career, where why you're here, the pinnacle of your life, why you're here. Her midheaven is in her 10th house. It's your house of career, but which is where it's always. But she has Chiron in that area. She has Saturn in that area. So this is working with karmic themes and her ability to take the unboundaried Pisces and put it into a new structure. That's kind of what we need. That's kind of, if things are falling apart, we do need a new structure, something we agree upon. So she's well positioned to do that.
Interesting. I love this. Thank you for sharing this information. Is there anything else you want us to know about her chart? And guys, if there's anything in the comments you want us, me or Mara, to talk about on a future, because we're probably going to do these kind of like joint things more frequently, because you guys seem to like them and they're fun for us. So put some notes in the comments, like and subscribe if you want to see more. But anything else that we need to know about her, because she's kind of an interesting character. She
is, and I will actually be studying her chart more and more, because it's a great teaching tool for anybody who wants to learn more about astrology. Follow her chart and what they call her progressions. All right, just kind of follow that. You can start looking into that more. But her chart has in it this remarkable thing that I've not heard other astrologers mention, and that's that she's got essentially 2 grand trines. A grand trine means you've got 3 trines all lining up into a triangle. Okay, that's a grand trine, and that means it's all in the same sign, and that means that it's bringing her a fabulous balance in where these points are located. And her grand trine is in water signs. That's emotionality, right? So if she can bring calm to peaceful waters, which is what I think she does, that's super unique and needed right now. Okay. And the other thing I want to say is her Mercury is in Scorpio, which means she's very good, not just at communicating, but telling when someone is telling a lie and investigating. You don't hear a lot from her because she's good at timing.
Interesting.
The times are changing.
Yeah, interesting. I started, those of you who get political commercials on your YouTube experience have been watching a nauseating number of those already, and I'm starting to see her on the commercials. YouTube has not decided exactly what party I'm in, so I'm actually getting 2 commercials. So yay for me. But I've started to see it's not as much Mr. Obama or President Obama as much anymore, as I'm starting to see Kamala Harris on my commercials. So,
oh yeah,
interesting.
Stupid stuff.
I'm going to give you the final word, Mara. I'm absolutely, guys, if you want to book an appointment, Mara can absolutely do your chart and tell you where your stars and where your Cryon is sitting. And I know I said the wrong thing, so forgive me for that. Clearly, I am not a shamanic astrologer. Mara's going to tell us how to reach you. I'm also putting a link in the description. Tell us how they can get a hold of you, how they can connect with you.
You can go to maraclearspring.com. You can go to Instagram or Facebook and put in /Mara Clear Spring, and you'll find me. And if you go on Instagram or if you go anywhere, I have a link tree, and my link tree has a lot of easy links on it. So that way, if you're like, oh my God, Mara, your site's so big, because it's all that stuff on it. You can use the link tree to get easily to very specific places.
And if you are watching this video on Mara's channel, hi, I'm Jill. Nice to meet you. Anyway,
that's Jill. That's Jill.
Hey guys, thanks so much, and we'll be doing this again soon. Ask if there's any questions you want you want a shamanic perspective, shamanic astrology perspective on. Be sure and put links in the or put questions in the comments. We would love to see those, and we'll get to as many as we can. But thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.